program going, okay? So you listen to me, you don't have to listen to me. I'm not the main speaker, I'm just the introducer here. So, good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming this evening. My name is Carol Timmitt, and I'm from Verizon Wireless, and I manage the small business marketing program in the Midwest area. And the Midwest area includes Detroit, obviously. We have 15 states. And our mission this month is to go around the Midwest area and talk to small business and entrepreneurs about their businesses and how technology can improve their business. And here's me with my note on my smartphone. The first step in technology, right? You don't do this, although sometimes you have to do this because your battery dies, and then you need to fall back on the paper sometimes. But anywho, I wanted to thank Focus Hope and Power Us for allowing us to come here tonight. We have a program through Black History Month called Empowering Potential Us. And we've been going around talking to people about how technology can empower your lives and your businesses and everything else in your life, and how the communities can come together and support each other in that endeavor. So tonight we just wanted to recognize all of you as graduates of the program and thank you for your beliefs and your hopes and your ambitions to become a business owner, and know that Verizon is behind you all the way with our technology, and hopefully you can find ways to integrate that technology into your business to make you prosperous and successful. So that's what we're here to do tonight. So I hope you enjoy your program. We've got Navarro Wright who will be here speaking with you as well. But before that, I would like to give a check from the Verizon Foundation to the Focus Hope. Where is it? Right here. So, the Verizon Foundation is a huge supporter and believer in education. They always donate and look for ways for people to, and organizations that help out folks to. Okay, right there. So on behalf of the Verizon Foundation, I would like to present the check for $10,000 to Focus Hope.
Hey, I know, and come together just a little bit for me. Perfect. Thank you. And one more, ladies. And one last one. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Paulette Boyd. I'm the Chief Financial Officer here at Focus Hope. So CFOs get really excited when they get really big checks like this. I'm really happy to be here, and I would like to thank Verizon for their generous support of our organization, and in particular for supporting our entrepreneurial programs like tonight's event. We are honored that Verizon would include us as part of your Potential of Us campaign. Your gift tonight will go a long way in helping us to help others realize their potential in life. Inspiring others to be the best they can is what Focus Hope aspires to do in our education and job training programs, as well as in this community. We are especially inspired by the entrepreneurs who are here tonight and who are helping to revitalize this community while realizing their own dreams. It is appropriate that this event comes tonight during Black History Month, when the nation recognizes the legacy of so many extraordinary individuals who have inspired our communities and the world. Thank you again, Verizon, for seeing the potential in Focus Hope and in the Detroit community. Now I would like to introduce tonight's guest speaker. Navarro Wright found his potential in the digital world. He is one of this country's foremost voices on how the mix of technology, the internet, mass media, and social media can impact lives, businesses, and society. Mr. Wright is the president of Maximum Leverage Solutions, a consulting firm that provides technology and product strategies for startups, businesses, and brands. His clients include Google and Soledad O'Brien's Starfish Media Group. Previously, Mr. Wright served as Chief Technology Officer for Radio One's online division, Interactive One, and for Black Entertainment TV. He has more than 20 years of experience in the technology and media industries. Most recently, Mr. Wright launched an initiative called Close the Divide Project. The goal is to build awareness among minorities and women about the opportunities that exist in technology in a variety of fields, such as education, healthcare, career growth, and entrepreneurship. Mr. Wright has received many honors and awards recognizing his leadership in information technology, and he has appeared on numerous television and radio shows. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Navarro Wright.
How's everybody doing? Getting up to eat? You can go get some more. Still, I didn't get any, so you're ready to me. So first, I want to thank Proctor's Detroit and Verizon for flying me out here today to talk to you guys. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to come out and listen to what we have to say. The title of this is Top 10 Essential Technology Solutions for Business, but we're going to talk about a lot more than that, if that's okay with you guys. First, I want to kind of take a pulse of the audience. How many people in here already own their own business? How many people in here are starting entrepreneurs about to start their own business? How many people in here work for somebody and ready to start their own business because they're getting in? I just need to take a pulse. So you heard a little bit about my background, but I want to take a few minutes to tell you a little bit more about me. And then talk a little bit, give context to why this conversation is so important. So, at the end of the day, I've worked at a lot of places. I've spent time at BET, I've spent time at Radio 1, but technology has taken me everywhere. Usually when you hear the word technology, you don't hear it in the same sentence as BET, as Radio 1, as Russell Simmons. And I've been blessed to take those technology skills and take them in places that other people wouldn't think about and create great relationships across the board. So just a couple highlights. So during my career, I have production credits on 5 of the first 6 BET Awards. I co-founded a company called Global Grind with Russell Simmons. We actually raised about $4.5 million from the exact same guy who invested in Facebook 2 weeks prior. I appeared on Ren's House on 3 occasions during my time with Russell, talking about technology. I recently appeared in a CNN documentary, Black in America, with Soledad O'Brien, talking about taking African Americans to Silicon Valley to help them start companies. But most importantly, I've probably started close to 20 businesses in my life out of my home. Why is that important, and why should you care? You should care because it gave me the opportunity to make thousands of dollars from people who I never met. Right? And as African Americans, that's a powerful thing to do because they didn't have an opportunity to judge me, to have a bias based on my background and my skills, of my skin. They only focused on my skills and what I was delivering to them. So that was very empowering for me. My current businesses, one is Maximum Leverage Solutions, which is a technology consultancy where I help brands and small businesses leverage technology to grow their business. The second one is one I'm launching in a month called Next Screen, where I partner with celebrities and brands to help them monetize their YouTube content. And lastly, one of the reasons I'm here tonight is the Close the Divide Project. So being in technology for about 20 years, I've been what I like to call solo Negro for a really long time. I've been in environments, corporate environments, where I'm the only African American in the room. I've been in technology environments where people would ask me why I was there. I've gone to conferences with C-level positions and have people read my business, my card, and they say BET, and then they say, oh. Because they made excuses and tried to figure out why I was in their space. But through that time, I recognized that there was so much opportunity in all those places that some people should be there besides me. So right after the documentary, I started getting a lot of requests to do speaking engagements. I would get 2 types of requests. I would get some people who would ask me to come and they would pay and they would fly me in, etc. But a lot of requests would come from people saying, hey, we think our group needs to hear from you. We can't pay your train fare, we can't get you there, but we really want you to come. So I started taking a lot of those speaking engagements and realized that's actually where I needed to be. I recognized that there were people out there who just needed to have the information that I've had all my life presented to them in a way that they could understand, that they could relate to, and they could see the value of. So that's where the Close the Divide Project was born. So I talked a little bit about what I've done, but I also really wanted to talk about where I'm from. So I'm born and raised in Trenton, New Jersey. My father was a habitual gambler. I remember many nights sitting at home and the lights flickering out, and I look out the window wondering if it was the weather, and it wasn't the weather, it was because he hadn't paid the electric bill. I remember sitting in school and getting pulled out and having to sit in what was called in-school suspension, which was their polite way of saying that we hadn't paid the tuition. And I say these things and show you guys these things because a lot of people come up and they speak to people and they're very quick to tell you about all their accomplishments, right? They want to tell you everything they've done, they want to tell you how big they are, but very few people come and tell you kind of the areas that they've come from. And I show this slide so that you guys can understand that I come from environments like a lot of you. And more importantly, I don't think I'm that smart. I think I've been blessed with opportunity, and I think I've taken advantage of it. But I also want to show people that any environment you come from, you can achieve things that otherwise you wouldn't think you could do. Because if you would have told that attractive yet ashy kid in the corner of that slide that he would have done the things that you saw on some of the previous slides, he wouldn't have believed it. So, one of the things I tell people is I'm addicted to opportunity. Wherever I go and I have conversations, I immediately think, well, how can I turn a business out of that? How can I take that and make that my own? And I showed this slide to say that I think that this is how mainstream America views opportunity today in the United States, especially with technology, right? If you have a problem, you go do a Google search and you find the answer to it. They have connections to technology, they have multiple computers in the home. So really anything they want to do, they're a couple keystrokes away from doing it. So that's the good side. But in a lot of our environments, I think this is what our view of opportunity is, right? We're struggling to make ends meet on a day-to-day basis. We're only focused on how we get through tomorrow. We have a limited perception of what's around us because we're so focused on just trying to get by. But the challenge with that is, when you have that perspective, in a lot of cases, opportunities are literally to the left or right of you, and you can't see them. Every day you pass things that could be life-changing for not only you, but for your entire family, for the community, and they pass you by. So my goal is to make sure that we all go back to that first slide and have that wide opportunity. And why do we have that narrow perspective? We have it because we have a thing what I like to call environmental constraints, right? A lot of our problems are generational. If no one in our community has ever seen signs of high level of success, how are we supposed to understand how to be successful? If no one ever comes into our communities and tells us what the opportunities are around us, how can we expect our children and the people around us to know that those opportunities exist? So when we recognize that those are environmental constraints, we recognize also that we are better than anybody else at changing our environment once we have the knowledge. So the key tonight is to give you guys the knowledge to help change environmental constraints and move past them to do some of the things you guys have always wanted to do. So we want to talk about technology and talk about it in a way that I like to articulate it, is that technology allows you to literally be David beating Goliath. If you guys know the story of David and Goliath, David moved away from what everyone told him to do and did what was best known for him and worked himself out to beat Goliath. And if you think about all of our lives, we spend our constant daily lives figuring out ways out of problems that are unique to us. African Americans are natural-born entrepreneurs. If you think about the challenges and things you face, and think about the creative ways that you're able to solve problems every day, and imagine being able to map that to a business or skill, you already have the innate talent to be successful. We just have to give you the tools to get there. Remember I talked to you before about running your business from anywhere. I mean, this guy looks like he's excited to be sitting at home. Wouldn't you be excited too? But the reason why this is important is because it doesn't matter that you're not in Silicon Valley. It doesn't matter that you're not in some big hub. Technology allows you to start your business from wherever you are, from the back corner room of your house, from your basement, and give you global reach. That's a powerful statement when you think about that ability to do that from your own home. And the other thing about being small is that you can move and change things quickly. The average small company, large company, it takes them 6 to 8 months to make a change based on customer feedback. If somebody tells you what they don't like what you're doing, you can change it the next day. And the beauty with technology, it gives you real-time feedback of whether someone likes or dislikes your product. That's a powerful endeavor. So lastly, I want to go through and talk about how technology can level that playing field. So the other thing about being small is that because of technology, companies aren't staying small for long. right? If you look at this chart and you look at some of the dates, before 1998, there was no Google. How do we find things before 1998? I don't know. Before 2004, none of us ever got poked. There was no Facebook. Before 2007, you had to play words by yourself because you couldn't play words with friends. They didn't exist. Before 2006, you couldn't use phrases like LOL, BRB, because Twitter didn't exist. I mean, think about these timelines and think about how these things impact your life. Here's the big one, 2007, the iPhone didn't exist before 2007. Think about how far you can go today without seeing an iPhone. Now here's another one. 2009, a company, the guy who built Twitter because he was bored decided to launch another company called Square. And what Square is it's a little white device you can plug into your phone and you can make credit card purchases 5 seconds later. Now another stat I'll tell you is that over 70% of African American owned businesses are cash only. Right? You guys know you go into your favorite fish joint and you forgot to stop at the ATM, you got to turn all the way around so you can go back and get it. That's a real challenge. That's a growth problem for African American businesses. So this one device immediately can turn any business into a credit card taking business. Whether you're selling out of your trunk, whether you're selling out of your house, you're now taking credit cards. Square does $250 million in transactions a day. The last three, some of you may know, but all your kids know. Instagram started in 2010 by 2 people. A year and a half later, it was sold to Facebook for $1 billion. Snapchat started in 2011, just turned down a $3 billion offer to be acquired. And the one in the bottom, WhatsApp, some of us probably don't even heard about it, was just bought for $15 billion by Facebook when we started in 2009. So these are the home runs. But there's thousands of businesses that you've never heard of that are generating jobs, that are creating opportunities, all leveraging technology, and all growing really fast and disrupting industries. Any of us here could be on this slide. Okay. So I have another saying where I talk about the power of the napkin. So who's ever been in high school, maybe even at work, and you have a napkin here and you start doing on an idea that just comes to you? Well, the beauty is that all of those companies I showed you on the previous slide were all started by 2 or 3 guys sitting in a room doodling on a napkin about an idea that they had. But our challenge in our community is because we're not introduced to the skills and the tools that take those and turn those into reality, a lot of those napkins get thrown away. There's a lot of high school kids in school today doodling ideas and things that could change the world, but because we haven't introduced them to the skills and the tools to take that to be reality, they throw them away. And more importantly, they don't recognize that they have the power to turn that into a reality. So really the power of technology is really allowing you to take your ideas, your passions, your thoughts, and turn them into real things. And the one thing that people don't realize is that it's a really low cost of entry. When you leave here tonight, some of you already got your laptops out right now, you can go to Google and say, how do I do X? And replace X with whatever you want to do. There's already thousands of services and opportunities you can use to start that business right now, to make that thing a reality, to learn a skill, to let you get a new job. They're already right there. But a lot of us don't know about it. The other thing about the power of the napkin and power of technology is that it removes location and size from being an issue. Like I said, this young lady in the second row here, her laptop, could start a business while I'm sitting here talking. She better give me a piece because I gave her something. But most importantly, it allows you to start right now. So the first thing we want to talk about is the power of your network. How many people here have friends? How many people here have Facebook friends? So you already have a test group that you can test that idea and put in front of and see if they validate it. When I was raising money for Global Grind, I used to have something that was called the stink test. If I told someone the concept and they immediately said, oh, well, have you thought about doing this and doing that, that means the idea didn't stink because they gave me feedback and they could see it happening and start doing things like that. You have the opportunity to do that right now at even more rapid pace than I could back then. There's skills and there's platforms out here today that you can take and immediately put them in front of your network overnight. You can connect to them and validate that idea with spending little to no money, right? You can generate a Facebook page. You can create a Twitter account and start putting messages about it. You can generate a launch page for your site for less than $15, $20 and put it out there and test that idea that you've had in your mind for a while. almost immediately. So this is an author that I've read, has a great book called The Lean Startup. This guy named Eric Rice. And he defined a startup as this: a human institution designed to create new products and services under conditions of extreme uncertainty. How many people here are humans? How many people here have ever been uncertain? So everybody here is qualified to start a company. It's that simple. He didn't say a white human institution. He didn't say a human institution that lives in Novi. I didn't think I knew my Detroit. He said a human institution that's going to build products based on uncertainty. Who has built and launched things under more uncertainty than African Americans? Naturally born entrepreneurs. So when you think about this statement, you think about that you already have 90% of the skills that you need to start that company that you've been talking about for the last 6 months or a year and you're not starting to. You guys know who you are. This is a powerful statement. So I talked about it before. Here's some of the examples of products you can use to start your company tonight. You got an idea, you got that snappy domain name, you go on GoDaddy, you buy it for about $12. You go to another site called LaunchRock and you can launch a test page of it with your marketing message that'll let people share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter. That's free too. You go to a product called MailChimp and send out an email newsletter announcing this company that they don't know doesn't exist yet, but you're testing them out for free. Create a Twitter and Facebook presence. Test your marketing messages on a service called Unbounce that lets you create multiple pages with different messages, and each person that comes get a different message and you see which one's test better. That's free too. And if you really feel ambitious, you can create a WordPress site using one of their free themes for like $25. And if you're selling stuff, you can go to a platform called Shopify. For $25, you can launch your e-commerce site by about 11:30. All for under $100. Some interesting stats. And I'm going to get these on here so I get these right, because these are important. 78% of U.S. internet users go online and search for information about products and services. 32% have posted products and reviews or comments. 67% said a mobile-friendly site makes them more likely to buy a product or service. 55% of mobile searches lead to a purchase, whether offline or in store. And 11% of total U.S. retail e-commerce sales were from mobile devices, totaling nearly $25 billion in 2012. Who in here would like to have a business that gets you 0.001% of that $25 billion? Now, I didn't say large businesses. They didn't say Walmart, they didn't say Apple, they didn't say Macy's. They said businesses. Because when you do a search for a product, it's all a level playing field. There's a product called Google Places where you can go on here tonight and tomorrow your site and your business will come up in that search results with everybody else. It's a free product. It'll build a simple site for you so that when they click on it, they can at least hear about your business. The mobile device is key because, think about it. When you build a website, you got to get people to go there. When you make sure you're mobile ready, they're already there. You send them an email, they click on the link, they're immediately at your site, they're at your product, they're consuming your goods, they're reading your messages. If you build an app and it has notifications, you can notify them, hey, I'm having a sale today. Hey, if you buy now, you get a discount. You have a direct connection to all your clients and potential clients using a mobile device. And these numbers are growing. They're not getting small. So hardware. How many people here don't own a computer? All right, we got a tech savvy audience. So a lot of people don't own a computer. And a lot of people don't say that not owning a computer is the reason why they haven't started their business and haven't started pursuing their dream. But the reality is all those services I showed you, you can use them and access them via a tablet or a smartphone. So how many people know people that don't have a computer but have a smartphone? They can start a business tonight. They can connect to all those services and make things happen. A couple key things. So right now, like I told you with Square, I can literally turn this into a point of sales tool right now. So connect. You know, people who are selling things or who are building things who have great products. that phone could be the hub of their business. Every service we talk about tonight can be accessed via their smartphone. And in terms of connection, everybody can't sit at Starbucks. Everybody can't get to Starbucks. But if you get a Verizon Jetpack, you can be connected everywhere. So that means if I stop you around the corner and I have something to sell you, I can immediately connect, make sure I'm connected to the internet and sell you my product. If I need to get access to my services, I can connect there. If I want to start a business, I buy that, we can sit in the garage and we all connect to the internet and we make it happen. Who's ever heard of the cloud? Who has no idea what the cloud is? Thank you. You're honest, I'm going to tell you something. So really at the end of the day, all the cloud is the internet. But the difference is that everything we used to do directly on our computers has now been moved to the internet. So why should you care? You should care because what the cloud allows you to do now is connect all of your devices to a central location to store all your information so you never lose it. Allows you to share information with people you're building a business with your clients in a central location and allow you to collaborate on it in real time. Allows you to back those important contacts that you've built over the last 6 months trying to create your business onto a central location. It allows you to centralize it. And then lastly, the single most important expense in building a business is an office. So with the cloud, you can have people working wherever they need to work, and you guys can collaborate in real time and build your business on your time. Verizon has a cloud offering right now that they can back up all of your data immediately from your phone. Starts off with 25 gig and goes all the way up to 125 gig. All the information you have, they can back up via your phone. Google Drive and Google Apps. How many people have a Gmail address? How many people know that they have Google Docs and Google Drive? So Google Docs and Google Drive basically give you word processing, spreadsheet capabilities, document storage, and a free phone number connected to your Gmail address. If you have a Gmail address you already have, you just haven't activated the services. So that allows you to share all your documents in one place, collaborate in real time. I can open a document at my house, you can open it at your house, we can open up a chat room, and we actually can change that document in real time in 2 separate places. With Google Voice, you can go in and it creates a phone number for you. You can use it on your mobile phone. You can use it at your computer. It rings all of your phones and screens your calls for you so that you don't answer that business call thinking it's a personal call. All that can happen right now. Google Hangouts is another piece of Google Apps I want to tell you about that basically allows you to connect a video conference with up to 10 people at one time for free, using your tablet, your smartphone, or your computer. You have company meetings all from your house, collaborate with the other people you're trying to build businesses, talk to your customers in real time, all for free on your tablet, smartphone, and computer. Evernote is probably the best thing I've ever found out in my life. I can take video notes, I can take audio notes, I can take text notes, I do them on my phone, and immediately backs them up to all my devices. Business cards too. Dropbox is literally like an online file storage. You create an account, most accounts are free, and if you invite someone else and they accept, they give you an extra 5 free gigs of space. Store all your photos, your videos, all your documents. Again, syncs it across all of your devices. Mobile credit card payments, we talked about this with Square. So Intuit is a company that makes a product called QuickBooks. And QuickBooks allows you for about $20 a month to manage all your business finances. Send invoices, keep track of expenses, pull information from your bank account. So literally, if you're running and starting a business, you can manage all your finances from any device you have. So now they've added mobile credit card payments to it as well. So they have this little device right here, plugs into the bottom of your phone, and you can take credit card payments. So I'm going to show you with a sample of $1,000 transaction. How are you? It works sometimes. That's how I make my money. I might do that. So the power in this is that not only is it taking credit card payments, but it's immediately putting it in your accounting software so you're keeping track of that. If you have inventory numbers in there, you can immediately know where your inventory is going up and down. These are real business tools that you can have access to right now whatever your business is. These are game changers. Tracking and tracking your finances is other things that are key. So that's on the right there, on the left there is the QuickBooks in your mobile device, accessing all the features. In the middle there is a company called Page One. They actually just changed their name to Check, which basically manages all your bills, alerts you when bills are due, gives you the ability to pay them right within the app. When you're running around trying to build a business, the last thing you want to do is not let your phone bill get paid or any of those key bills get paid to stop you from doing your business. So that reminds you of all of that, lets you manage your finance. And then lastly, one of my other favorite apps is called Shoebox. So Shoebox, basically, whenever you're out, you can take a picture of any of your receipts. It immediately takes a picture, it sends it, a human looks at it at their office, and they can categorize it into any different expenses that you need. It connects with QuickBooks, so it immediately correlates with your bank account, so you'll make sure you always have the receipts at the end of the year at tax time, all from your mobile device. Powerful tools to let you be on par with any business you're competing with. So improving collaboration. If any of you guys are doing service-oriented business, like my man in the back is catering, who needs to plan large events, there's a company called Basecamp that basically you can do all of that online. You can set the calendar, you can set the schedule, you can share that with your clients. You can let them know what the process is in real time so they understand what you're doing in the project. And all of these services have a free level that you can start with. We talked a little bit before about Google Voice and Google Chat, but I want to bring it up again because Google Voice is really powerful. Literally, you can make phone calls from your desktop to anyone in the United States for free, as long as you have an internet connection. If you need to jump into a video call, you can do it right there as well. So imagine if you're building your business and you want to hire some new people, they just sign up, they create, you create a Google Voice account for them. They all have phone numbers they can give out for their business, and you guys can run your business. Customer service anywhere. Another app I like to use is called Shake Agreement. That's that S up top. It's a mobile app that lets you do binding agreements on your mobile phone. Someone says they want to hire you, immediately you go in there, 5 minutes later, they sign, you have a binding agreement, you're off to the races. No lawyer fees, none of that. DocuSign allows you to have documents on the cloud, any contracts, etc. Send it to somebody, they digitally sign it, you digitally sign it. You have a binding agreement. This removes the need for having to go back to lawyers for contracts once you've had them signed. It removes the agreement for you have to move slowly to get these things done. You're growing your business at lightning speed. So staying organized, staying productive. So for people who don't have iPhones, there's a product called Blingo, which is basically their answer to Siri. Basically, you go in there and through voice, you can access your emails, you can find restaurants that are nearby, you can check your messages, all without typing on your phone. It becomes your virtual assistant. The other one, Uber, is basically your own personal car service. So if you're building your business, you got 5 meetings in a row, you're trying to get to all of them, instead of trying to go in and park in terms of 20 different places, you let Uber take you around. Uber's in every city in the United States. Basically, you go on the web app, you put a pin in where you are, 5 minutes later, a taxi, black car, all the way up to an SUV picks you up, and takes you where you want to go, they charge your credit card. That's it. I used Uber to get here tonight. And the last one is called Hotel Tonight. So you're building your business. When you travel, you don't have an office, you want to have your meetings in a great hotel, you're trying to land that big client. What Hotel Tonight does is every day at 9 a.m. in every city, almost every city in the United States, you can go in there and get discounted hotel rooms in that city. $299 hotel rooms for $99 a night. Some of the best hotels in any given city every day are offered there. Use it on a daily basis. So talking about your network and being connected. So if you're going to start this business and you're going to start to get clients and customers, they don't want to hear that you had a bad signal. They want to hear that you were in a poor area. They want to connect to the people that they're doing business with. So remember, like I said before, everybody can't go to Starbucks. So you got to make sure you're connected wherever you are. And then secondly, you got to make sure that you have a number that everybody can reach you at all the time. That can if your clients want to get at you, they want to get at you whenever they want to get at you. This is important for creating a face for your business. Verizon has this product, which is a broadband router with voice that literally you can plug in anywhere and immediately you have a dedicated phone line, you have Wi-Fi for that room. So if you travel from city to city, that number can follow you. It can be a dedicated number for your business. Wherever you go, you can create a Wi-Fi hotspot for you and anybody who needs to work. Powerful thing. So we talked a little bit about technology and how you can use it. But really what I want to talk about is the people in this room. So I travel the country trying to give people what I like to call the light bulb moment, which is basically when you realize that all the things you've been thinking about and all the opportunities that you wanted to have are firmly in your grasp. That everything you thought, whether it was cost was a burden, location was a burden, finally get moved away. Because when you have that light bulb moment, the moment you go back and think about that same problem, you think about it differently. You're like, oh, I can go do a Google search and find something to teach me how to do that, to move my business forward. Or I can do a Google search on my phone and find a service that can help me in a low-cost way grow my business. Now, the importance of that, and why it's important for programs like Prosperous Detroit, is because we need to create visual representations of success. Think about in your mind 5 successful black people. And unfortunately, I guarantee that 4 out of the 5, if not all 5, are entertainers or athletes. Then that's nothing wrong with you. That's nothing wrong with, that's just our limited scope of what our visual representations of success are. So how do we change that? We change that the same way that we as African Americans have changed everything else that we've ever done. We do it ourselves. And what I try to tell you is that the technology allows you to have the opportunity to do it yourself right now. There's nothing stopping you. But the importance of that is if you allow yourself to walk out of this room tonight and have that light bulb moment and start to do different things differently, someone in here will be a visual representation of success for someone around you. Because the reason I travel the country and the reason I do this is because I recognize that we need to articulate the value of these things to our audience in a way that relates to us. It can't be generic. You know, I've told big businesses and companies that, look, if you were going to China, you would send somebody over to learn their culture, to learn how to connect with them, and see what their value propositions to do that. But you won't do that on 8 Mile. So if they're not going to do it, if they're not going to show the value of this technology, there's so much opportunity out here, then we have to do it. The people here who own businesses, you have to leverage technology, you have to be comfortable with technology. You have to force your employees to be comfortable with technology. And they'll see you growing your business. No one is born wanting to be unsuccessful. Remember, we suffer from environmental constraints that limit our perspective of seeing what opportunity is. So if we all have that light bulb moment and we change it and we use technology as that tool, because at the end of the day, that's all it is. It's a tool. It's not magic. It's a tool. But it's a tool that we need to grasp to change our situation. You guys know it living in Detroit. I know it where I'm from. Verizon knew it. That's why they brought me here. So I hope everyone who's graduated from this program will recognize that and take it. If you just came because you heard the caterer serving good food, that you walk out here with a new perspective, that you don't see that you're limited in opportunity. And you tell somebody else. When I first started the Close the Divide Project, I was coming from a New Year's Eve church service. I was driving home and God put a thought in my heart to say, I need to connect with 10,000 people about the value of technology. I had no idea why I could. 2 days later, I got a call from a friend of mine saying, hey, I want you to come to a screening with me. And just sit there, I was in the documentary. Then another day, I got a call and they said they can't make it. I walk in the room, there's 3,000 people in the room. So 2 days later, I'm 3,000 people into my goal. But that all takes in terms of taking that first step, of recognizing the things you guys have all, he's been telling you guys all the same thing. He's been putting thoughts in your head, and you've been saying, well, I don't know enough about it. I'm not in the right place. I'm not the right person. If you weren't the right person, you wouldn't have the thought. So leverage these tools to change your situation, to change the situation of our neighborhood. Thank you. Oh, yeah. So I had to do a nice walk-off. That was one of those walk-off moments. You just had to leave. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
I'm curious to know, why did you only speak of Intuit instead of Square, or which one do you think is the best one?
Because I try to simplify things, because Intuit connects to QuickBooks, which is also a financial accounting software, so that you don't have to, if you use Square, then you have to take all the information and put it into your accounting software. So I'm a big believer in trying to simplify things, because when you start a business, there's enough things you have to think about, and sometimes people just pick tools for tools' sake. And I like to find tools that kind of connect with each other to make your life easier, because you got enough to worry about in building your business. Well, yes, sir.
We have, we'll be able to access your slide presentation.
Yeah, I'll put it on SlideShare, and we'll make sure that everybody can get it. Yes, ma'am.
I have an idea for an app, a couple of apps actually, but here's my question is, I've been to some of the weekend starters that I've seen there, and I'm a little leery of sharing my intellectual capital with people I don't know. So what is the first step? Now, I've got this great information, so I don't know how to code. So how do you go about finding the
Yeah.
technology experts to help you get your idea to,
So first, ideas are like rear ends. Everybody's got one.
right?
So every idea you have, there's someone somewhere who has a variation of that idea. The key and difference is execution, right? So what I would say is that if you want, if you want to build an app, even if you're not the one that's going to end up building that app, you need to go start learning how to build an app. Because even if you end up hiring someone to build that app or partnering with someone, you need to have enough knowledge to know if they're doing good or bad. I give the analogy, it's funny about technology, right? Technology is one of these weird things where some people think, oh, well, I don't need to really know it. I can just use it. But if I open up a hair salon, I better know how to do hair. I'm gonna have one client. So you're gonna come in and get jacked up. You're gonna tell your friends. Technology is the same thing. You gotta learn. I mean, literally, if you type in how to build a mobile app in Google, there's free resources, there's things you can read, there's videos, however you want to learn. And again, I'm not trying to make everybody an engineer. I'm trying to make you literate, right? You don't go buy a TV without looking at the reviews. It's the same thing with technology. You have that baseline knowledge. And literally, the beauty of mobile devices, you can do it in your off time. You can do it while you're sitting. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
I'll just tag on to that. We have a lot of people who've moved into the city and with a lot of technological background, and you never know who may be in your network who actually has a connection to someone who could do that for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, we don't network well. We don't have these kind of conversations, which we need to have more of. And at the end of the day, I'll go back to your point about not sharing the idea. That's part of our problem. Like, we hold things to the chest. But I can tell you in Silicon Valley, they're sharing ideas all the time, right? You sit in a coffee shop and you have 3 people behind you talking about an idea, and in 6 months you see it's a product because they're leveraging their resources. We don't leverage our resources. Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to know that sharing our ideas, I used to practice law, and one of the things you can do to protect your ideas is get a non-disclosure agreement. So if you find somebody you think you want to collaborate with, and you don't want them to take your idea, you can have a non-disclosure agreement where they can't use your idea also. So that way you can still share your idea and feel okay that no one's going to steal it from you.
Yes.
I have.
Or you just build it faster than anybody.
Yeah.
Just build it, that's it.
I mean, literally, that's what you have. Anyone else? Questions? Yes, ma'am.
Were there any books that you have read or motivational speakers that you looked up to help you mold you into the entrepreneur that you are today?
Yeah, and so, I mean, like I said, in terms of entrepreneurship, I really like the Lean Startup because he tells you how to kind of do it at kind of a base level. To be honest with you, to be a successful entrepreneur, you just gotta have faith. So the Bible, I sell it a lot, but I can help you get one. You go on your phone, actually. I got it on my phone. But I mean, there's the thing. So that's actually a lot truer than you might realize, because at the end of the day, if you go into this endeavor with fear, you're not going to be successful. Because there's going to be multiple opportunities where people are going to tell you that you shouldn't be doing what you're doing. You're going to tell yourself you shouldn't be doing what you're doing. And there's going to be moments where you're like, it's a lot easier to stop. But you research anyone who's ever been successful, they've had those moments and they persevere through those. So